Good afternoon, everybody. It is time for some New York Mets baseball. The Mets are playing a day game after a night game. Good afternoon to you, Stan. Good afternoon, Jonathan. Hope everybody is doing well. The game just got started. Luis Angel Acuna is leading off for your New York Mets today. Don't worry, I don't have the jersey on. It's a little chilly in Florida today, so I'm wearing the Mets sweatshirt. We'll probably take this off partway through, but we are rocking and rolling. I agree. Tyler McGill is absolutely on watch alert for this final spot. I really want McGill to win this last rotation spot over Paul Blackburn. So I am 100% for sure on that. Cunha, Beatty, Taylor. Yep. So I still feel like Acuna is probably the odd man out here, but his spring has been kind of weak. I feel like there's no need to rush him up. And obviously, he's a lot earlier in his journey. By the way, the count here is a full count to Acuna, 6 pitches in. So he is battling with a good at-bat here. So appreciate everybody. We are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. We're going to be coming live to you for as many New York Mets games as we can throughout this season. The best way that you can help me do that is hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is going to be very much the JV quadruple A roster for the Mets today, playing the day game after the night game on the road. So, you're not going to have all your main guys in there. Acuna fouls off another pitch, still a full count, 7 pitches in. So this is the type of at-bat you want from a leadoff batter. Good afternoon to you, Jonathan, as well. Appreciate you guys being here today. Here we go. Here's the payoff pitch. He rips it down the right field line. Is he going to go for the 2? He is. It's going to be a nice, easy stand-up double. So we got a leadoff double for Luis Angel Acuna. Yeah, that was a nice, not just the hit itself, going the other way with 2 strikes and ripping it down the line. I'm kind of surprised they weren't playing closer. I don't think the first baseman was positioned where he should have been on that play. With 2 strikes and the guy just trying to foul it off, you got to kind of protect that line a little bit more. I think that's just my gut. But that whole at-bat was really good for Acuna. One of the best ones I've seen. Of course, I haven't seen every single at-bat he's had this spring. All right. Brett the Met. Brett the Met has been on fire this spring. Obviously, he is battling for a spot on this roster as well. So batting .375 this spring. That has come down a little bit. He was batting well over .400 for a good chunk of the spring. All right, Jonathan, this is a good conversation topic because I'm sure Mets fans are pretty split on it. That's a foul ball by Brett. 1 ball, 1 strike. We can't judge Blackburn's spring training performance. I think Blackburn should get the final pitching spot. I don't know. So I'm not a huge fan of Paul Blackburn anyway, just in general. I like him in the long relief role. I like him to come in if, you get a starter who's being beat up and you just got to eat some innings. I just don't really trust him as a starting pitcher. Brett grounds the ball to the right side. That should move the runner up. So that gets the runner over from second to third. So again, not necessarily a hit there, but a very good productive out, not trying to do too much. So yeah, well, I know, I understand that. That's what's going against McGill. But my trust level, and I feel like McGill's ceiling is significantly higher than Blackburn's ceiling. So, but I totally get it. I would not shed a tear if we had to release Blackburn. There's a ball fisted, and we got a oopsie double play here on the Mets. There's nothing Acuna could do on that. So it was kind of like fisted. Let me see. They were playing in shallow. I think they were probably playing for the bunt. Shortstop catches it. I don't really count that one against Taylor. They were just playing him super short. I don't know if you want to say that's bad contact there. They were certainly playing him for the bunt there, playing in super shallow. So unfortunately, the Mets are going to be out of that inning without scoring. But I would say a great at-bat by Acuna and a solid at-bat by Beatty to move him up. And so just Tyron Taylor cannot get it done again, which, again, that one, I'm not quite as upset about that one as I was about his performance the other day. So anyway, we can discuss what do you guys think on Blackburn. I'm on team. I feel like there's plenty of pitchers like Paul Blackburn out there that we can get. So that's just kind of my take on it. I just don't feel like Blackburn's anything special. I mean, if you need to hold on to him, if you have to hold on to Blackburn, yeah, probably. But the way that ball was caught, even if he wasn't going on contact, I mean, unless he just broke back to the bag immediately. So, but I think there's a lot of players who are going to get thrown out at third there, especially at the top of the first inning. You're more likely to be a little more aggressive there. You know, you're probably right, Stan, that it's technically a bad base running play, but I also think it's a play that there's a lot of major leaguers who are going to get caught on that. So, and we don't know what coaching, they could have been told. It might have been not necessarily a hit and run, but he might have been told to go on contact there too. We don't know. So I'll give Acuna a little bit of a pass on that. All right, we are back here, bottom of the first inning. This is going to be pretty much the Astros main. Altuve, Paredes, Yordan Alvarez, Yanier Diaz, Zach DeZenso, Jeremy Pena, some other guys that they took off the screen before I could read them all. Let me bring this up in another tab here really quick, so that way I can read off the rest of the lineup for you. So I try not to be like performance matters, but I try not to be too critical on some of those things. Yeah, I mean, they don't need to make a decision on Blackburn, until they need to make. Really, it's making the decision on McGill. Do you send McGill down because he has options, or do you just get rid of Blackburn because he's just not working out? And I think we'll do some digging here this afternoon into what Blackburn's stats were last year with the Mets, because again, it's just not someone where I'm ever thinking something amazing could happen. At least with McGill, there's always this hope that, hey, if he's on, remember, McGill was part of the combined no-hitter that the Mets pitched. And so he has the ability. He's just struggled to put it all together consistently, especially multiple times through the lineup. All right. By the way, Altuve called out on strikes for McGill here. Sorry, I'm so busy talking. I'm not updating you guys on the game. Paredes pops this out. Wow, the camera work here is really bad. Fortunately, I'm stuck watching the Houston broadcast right now. Yep, I agree. I don't know. I mean, I would assume I don't know their full roster, but I would assume through Jeremy Pena is all starters for them. So Paredes flies out. Again, McGill's biggest issue. Vitalik, how's it going? McGill's biggest issue has always seemingly been the second and especially the third time through the lineup. Every once in a while he throws up a dud. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. But especially that second and third time through the lineup is where he gets in trouble. So I'm sure they're going to push him pretty hard today. I mean, I'm going to assume that if he's stretched out enough, he's going to go 50, 60 pitches and do that. So we got 1 ball, 1 strike to Yordan Alvarez here. There's 2 outs, nothing, bottom of the first. So that's what we have going here. We debuted our little ticker. I think I got my logos a little more centered today. I worked really hard to get the stream set up ahead of time. And so should I do that? That's a little foul ball back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So I got some work done this morning. I had a catering delivery, and then I did some grocery shopping for the family. So this is where I want McGill and Canning and drop Blackburn. So that's, and then if you need a 6th or a spot start, thank you, Stan, appreciate it. We're trying to do that. So It's a little bit better. There are ways, there are other things. I'll show you some of the other options, but I think this is better for now until I have a real cool like streamer setup, which I certainly do not right now. Here we go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's foul back. Good little battle here. Good test. Right? Yordan Alvarez, Tyler McGill pitching here. So, and then we've got I'm going to keep working and researching. I'm probably going to pay for the upgraded plan on StreamYard here. Woo! Punched him out. Strike 3. Looking. That's a really good first inning for Tyler McGill. I remember before McGill even made his major league debut, that first season, if you remember his first 7 starts or something, that was like when he pitched part of that combined no-hitter. He just came out absolutely on fire. And I remember hearing comparisons about McGill to Jacob deGrom at the time, it especially being so tall. I just really have, I don't know, I just don't follow all the waves of like Twitter Mets, right? Like ex-Mets, Twitter Mets, social media Mets fans. I see bits and pieces of it, and I just don't quite understand where everybody comes from. And I get it. It's kind of that New Yorker mentality. And since I left New Jersey, maybe I've grown soft over the years. But this constant narrative of we got to get rid of McNeil, we got to get rid of Beatty, we got to move on from McGill. Like, I just don't understand. And then when we trade players away, those very same fans years later are like, why do we get rid of Justin Turner? Well, you wanted Justin Turner gone. You wanted him gone because he wasn't developing fast enough. Like, the whole idea of homegrown talent is you've got to wait. You've got to let these guys develop. And sometimes some guys come up and they're instantly ready to go. But not everybody's a Juan Soto. Some of these guys need reps at the big league level. They need to go back and forth a handful of times before they can catch on. And not every guy who comes through your system is going to be an all-star player. But guess what? You don't need every player to come through your system to be an all-star player. You just need guys who can come up and be good role players and then occasionally hit on the superstar. And then when you develop them into the teamwork and the framework of your system, it works better. I just think that a lot of fans just get a little too, I don't know. They're just too quickly ready to move on from players. Like, I get it. Brett Beatty needs to catch on with the major league club soon, but I'm not to the point where I'm giving up on him or anything. Joey Meneses is leading off for the Mets here. Oh, I gotta update my banner here. Joey Meneses, top of the second inning. Nothing for the Mets. Oh, I know what I can do. I can have 2 banners. I can have the next banner ready to go. Oh, I'm finding out hacks and shortcuts of things I can do. Yeah, I know. And Mets fans almost feel like, well, because the Yankees fans do that, we have to do kind of the same thing. I don't know. By the way, Vitalik, thank you so much for the background love, and Stan as well. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, this is a really good point that fans are just so emotionally based. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Meneses here. Little grounder weakly to the right side. That's kind of what you would expect for a 2-strike swing. You're just trying to put the ball in play, but nothing going there. So there's going to be 1 out here in the top of the second inning. So I don't know. I just think it just doesn't. I get it. It drives clicks, and we're in a clickbait world, and it's unfortunate too because that's where a lot of the big streamers go. Is Sharon was commenting on the video I did last night, how everybody's like, all of a sudden, like, where's Thomas Nido? You don't want Thomas Nido back. Listen, if you don't like the second and the third string options and the fourth and the fifth, if you don't like those guys as potential backups to backups, then you shouldn't have brought them into camp in the first place. If the Mets want a Nido, this fly ball is going to drop into right field here. That's Alexander Canario with a little oopsie single out to right field. why not give these guys a chance that you brought in? Like, I get it. The Alvarez injury is unfortunate, but Alvarez isn't playing every day. So your backup catcher is going to be your starting catcher for some games, even if he's not going to start every game of the season. And then the guy who's backing up your backup catcher is almost certainly going to get some play time. So your second and your third string catchers, if you're not content, if the Mets were really worried about it, they would have brought Nito in before camp. And I don't get, I'm not saying the Mets shouldn't look to go out and improve, but this is, unless we get word that it's going to be more than 2 months, like if Alvarez turns out that he's going to be out for the season or something, then yeah, absolutely. Then you go out and you get a bona fide starter, you get that guy. But why would we go out and be trading major prospects away or not giving these guys who our staff has gotten to work with all of camp, give them the opportunity to do that? Redman, 1, 2, 3, first inning. I think you really need to look at the ceiling of McGill is significantly higher than the ceiling of Blackburn. So let's do some, we're going to go do some research here as we speak. Snowballs and 1 strike here. Donovan Walton is hitting for the Mets. Mets have a runner on first with 1 out in the top of the second inning. That ball is just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, so hold on 1 second. I know we got. Well, okay. So there's 2 different. Those are 2 different arguments, though, right? I think right now the way he's pitching, obviously, I don't think anyone would fight you that Peterson is better than Miguel. I think everybody would agree on that. But I just don't see. You're not comparing McGill to Peterson. It's McGill versus Blackburn versus Canning. This is the thing. This is what you're comparing. And if you're comparing McGill to Peterson, that's the wrong comparison. Peterson's one of our 3 starting pitchers that are locked in at this point. Okay? So, and remember, so you're looking for spots 4, 5, and then your long reliever. In fact, there's a very good chance that you could break camp with all of these guys. Because here's the thing. If you send McGill down, you use up another one of his minor league options. Maybe you actually keep all 6 of them, and then you have the McGill minor league option available down the road if any of the prospects are ready to come up, or if Manaya is ready to come back sooner or something like that. But this is the battle that you're looking at. If you're looking for McGill versus Peterson, it's the wrong comparison. You wouldn't compare a 3-starter with a 5-starter, a number 3 versus a number 5. No, you're comparing 5s. Runner goes. I think he is out. Yeah, see, Redman, this is what I'm talking about. I don't get it. Why do you hate any of those guys? This is what I'm going to push back against. Yeah, well, exactly. So how long do you have to wait to bring Sprode up to save your year? You only have to get to like June, right? So, I mean, you seriously could be at the point. All right. And the Mets are retired here in the top of the first. Sorry, we're so deeply talking here. That's a strikeout on Donovan Walton there. All right, so look, I figured out I can just do this. Now I can have 2 banners ready to go, and then I can just switch it right away. And then I can update. I can update the next banner, so then there's no lag there. Savage Batman. So we're talking about how's it going. For those who don't know, that's just Savage Batman's tagline every time he comes in. He's a Red Sox fan who's a major Yankees hater. So we give Savage Batman a pass. Tyler McGill has been a part of one of just a couple of no-hitters in New York Mets baseball history. All right, we're going to dig in here because I don't think y'all are understanding where I'm coming from. I'm not saying Tyler McGill is the man. I'm not saying, But first of all, you're looking for him in a five starter role. All right. Let's look at some actual stats here. All right. So let's bring this up. You use the same banner? Yeah. It's cool. Okay. So here, let me do this because I want to dig in. And I don't care if we're not going to ever be the biggest. So we can stay the smallest New York Mets community on YouTube. That's fine. But we're going to dig into real stats in real time. Okay, so check this out. First of all, you got to remember, McGill's been up and down a lot. Okay, would you believe it? I don't know if I would have believed it if I told you that last year was actually the best ERA of McGill's career. I don't think I would have guessed that. I would have guessed his 2021 season would have been it. Okay. He had a really rough year. I would say 2023 was a rough year. Whoa, what a nice, beautiful catch. That is a beautiful catch. Is that Canario in right field there? That's a beautiful catch. Just don't argue with Savage Batman. We'll just let him live in his Aaron Judge and Juan Soto are overrated. So check this out. Check out McGill's stats here. Right? So last year, McGill, 4.04 ERA. His whip was 1.31, which was below his career average. So here's the problem, though, right? As fans, we still kind of do this, especially if you're old school like me. We kind of look at the wins and losses, 4 wins, 5 losses. But there's more to it than that. And so I want to see where is I want to see, do they have K per 9 on here? Because that's one of the things I want to look at here. And obviously he didn't pitch as many innings last year. 2023 was like adjusting, but I mean, could you imagine if McGill could pitch a whole season and then sneak his ERA in like the 3.8 range with this lineup? Your win total goes up. Was that? I get that. Yeah, no, I think Sproat, I think we will see Sproat this year. I don't see any reason why. But did any of you realize that, and again, I know it's not the only stat, but did any of you realize that McGill's ERA was the best year of his career, even though it wasn't as many innings as he had pitched, but that was the best ERA of his career last season with a 4.04. And so if I'm just a believer that this stability here, that ball is going to fall in the right field corner. It is going to be a double. Zach DeCenzo with the 1-out double here for the Astros. I do agree that Sproat is definitely ahead of Christian Scott. I also kind of feel like we rushed Christian Scott last year. I just don't know. So I'm not an expert in service time manipulation here. Let me we'll take that screen off here for now. Service time manipulation MLB. A year of service time. Okay, we're going to share this because not all of you are familiar with service time manipulation and what that is. So it would be interesting to see because obviously there's a lot of things. So let me try to here. Hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better. Zooming in. For the purpose of salary arbitration and free agency, a player acquires a year of service time if the player remains on the major league roster for at least 172 days of a typical 187-day season. By the way, Jeremy Pena is up for the Astros. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Players may either be active, meaning they're eligible to play in games, or on the injured list. If a player is on the major league roster for 171 or fewer days, they do not earn a year of service time. Partial years cannot be combined. 6 years of service time is a key metric for eligibility for free agency. That ball's fouled away. Commentators have noted that the rules of service time create a perverse incentive for teams to avoid putting their best players in the Major League roster for the entire season. Okay. So 171 or fewer days of 187 days. So you're talking like 16 days. You're talking 3 weeks in. Okay. You're talking about 3 weeks in that you could possibly see 2.5, 3 weeks in, see Sproat come up, something along those lines. So, no, I mean, Sproat was impressive, but he did struggle. The other thing is he's got to be able to come up and pitch 80 pitches, 90 pitches. You got to, that's the problem, too, with spring training is his arm maybe isn't fully stretched out. And, of course, you don't want to rush these guys, injuries or different things like that. Does get the strikeout there. So that's one thing that I've been looking for McGill is can he basically get a good strikeout pitch? Because I feel like a lot of McGill's struggles have been putting away hitters. And so if we're seeing some good strikeouts here today, he already has 3 on the game. And so if we can see McGill start to do that. Yeah, Savage, I need to sit down and do like a full football update on the channel. I saw the Dolphins sign Zach Wilson. So all you Jets fans out there, like my Dolphins are gluttons for punishment. We got a grounder down to third. Brett Beatty tosses it across. And that will retire the side. So the Mets are out of the inning. A double, but McGill gets out of trouble otherwise. So we are going to the top of the third. It is 0-0. Astros versus the Mets. So we got Jose Azocar, Luis De Los Santos, and Hayden Sanger. So this is Hayden Sanger's audition. Hayden Sanger's audition for backup catcher position here. Second string catcher. So, oh yeah, I know. I do think, by the way, not that since we're on commercial break, you guys aren't missing anything. This is definitely the Dolphins. As a Dolphins fan, the Dolphins need to win some playoff games this year. I think they're just going to blow everything up and restart. And I don't even know if I would believe that they're capable of winning playoff games. Okay, so I'm not coming out here telling you that the Dolphins will win playoff games. I'm just saying, based on where they are in this rotation, it's like we're going to be on what, year 5 or year 6 of Tua, year 5 of Tua, I believe. It's like year 4 or 5. I don't know. I'm not here. Like if I'm talking to a bunch of Jets, Giants, and Cowboys fans, you're not going to get any sympathy from me for my Dolphins either. I get that, but you know how it is. If it's not working out after about 4 seasons, in the NFL, you're just better to go blow everything up, tank a season, and reboot from the beginning. So. All right, so we are the top of the third inning. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here today. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel, coming to you with live in-game coverage, play-by-play and reaction, talking all things baseball and a little bit of football too. New York Mets here today. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. The best thing that you can do is just share this channel with friends. We want to just try to build to that 500 subscriber mark as quick as possible. If you haven't yet signed up, make sure you sign up for that David Peterson rookie card giveaway. We are going to draw for that. We're going to give you through this weekend because we just re-announced that we added the David Peterson rookie card to it. So just make sure you get signed up, and then once you sign up, then you're eligible for all future drawings. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to even really speculate about who everybody the Mets decide to take on finally for like the last position roster spots. And so it'll be interesting to see how everything does play out. By the way, I did a wrap up yesterday. I wasn't able to stream. I had to work during the game last night. But Juan Soto hit another home run. yesterday. Mark Vientos hit another home run yesterday. Yeah, I'm on board with Reitz. I want Reitz, and I feel like he's if you look at his stats, which we did a couple streams ago, he only has about 20 major league games experience. Give him a month. Give him a month, see if he's got it. I mean, it's not like he's playing every day, and if he's got power, let's see what happens here. There's minimal pressure for him to produce a lot offensively. So I agree with you there, Jonathan. I'm 100% on board. Especially the fact that he found out, just hours before the game, there was a backup catcher position open, came up in the bottom of the first with the bases loaded, and that moment was not too big for him. And I understand a lot of people say, well, it's just spring training, it doesn't matter. Do you understand how much pressure is on you when you just realize you thought for sure you were being sent to the minors, and then all of a sudden you find Azakar strikes out swinging? That was a bad, got fooled there. Here. Yeah, like there's so much pressure on Reitz in that position because he knows he was about to be sent to AAA, and he knows there's a spot available and there's 2 or 3 guys in-house battling for it. And that moment was not too big for him. And he absolutely, and it wasn't just the grand slam, it was a good at bat altogether. And so, I mean, I was happy that we got to cover it. But to me, that's what I want. You just want a guy. That's what you want a catcher. You want a catcher who, in a big moment, can get a big hit for you. You're not looking for a catcher, your backup, technically your third string, right? But he'll be functioning as the backup catcher. You don't need him to hit 320. You need him to hit 240, but be able to get hits in clutch moments. And he has the major league experience. He has played up, but he hasn't had a lot of opportunity. And I'm just like, let's give him. And then here's the best part. And we mentioned this on the stream the other day. If Reitz has a great 6 weeks and Alvarez comes back, then you have this third string catcher who's going to have maybe teams looking for him June, July. It comes around in July, trade deadline. So now you turned a AAA player into a major league caliber catcher, maybe a starter, but for sure a backup major league caliber catcher. And then you trade him plus somebody else to get an asset that you really need at that point in time. I would have no interest. I have zero interest in Thomas Nido coming back. I mean, I get it. Homegrown. I don't know if he was with the Mets the whole time, but I know he did. I just don't have interest in Thomas Nido. The moment was always too big for him. Now I got a catcher who had an opportunity, the first chance knowing it, and the moment wasn't too big for him. Give him a shot. He's been with the Mets at camp. He's already knows how the system is working. He's part of this culture. He knows what the Juan Soto era is all about, and I'm good with it. I just like this is what, if you haven't paid attention, this is why. Look at the Brewer way. This is why the Brewers don't panic to trade away Corbin Burns, Josh Hader. Why don't they panic? Because they're always raising up the next level of talent. Now, the only difference here, because we're doing things the Brewer way it's the Brewer way, but with Steve Cohen's budget. And so what it means is we won't have to trade away Corbin Burns, but David Stearns knows how to raise up good talent behind. So if we weren't confident in Jackson Reitz or one of these guys, we got like 3 guys, I forget all their names. But if we weren't comfortable in any of those guys auditioning for the third string catcher position, then why bring them to camp in the first place? We obviously brought them here for the purpose of seeing if they could hold down that position. And now they get the chance. They've been at camp. They've been working. So, yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. We have a David Stearns who knows how to raise up players because they constantly know how to reproduce things, but then you don't have to get rid of it. All right, that is going to end the inning with another strikeout here. That was 3 strikeouts that inning for Luis De Los Santos, Hayden Singer. I think it's going to be one of those games today. About the only fireworks you're going to really expect is going to be out of the top 3 or 4 in the Mets lineup. It's this is more about talking baseball today than it is than it is really going to be about talking about this game. All right, we're going to bottom third. Nothing. Tyler McGill looking pretty good. Gave up one double. It should be noted too, I believe the double was not pulled. It was an opposite field hit, so it was like it wasn't like a drive way out there. So yeah, exactly. So we've got the Brewers way with David Stearns combined with the Yankee way of deep pockets, right? The old school Yankee way, not the current cheapskate Yankee way. And so now you've got the best of both worlds. And I feel like there's so many Mets fans and even Mets streamers and influencers who are just so much on the, oh, let's just go get Thomas Nieder. No, that's what the old Mets had to do because they didn't have David Stearns. What the new Mets can do is they can look, if some team cuts some, catcher that is high quality caliber starter who's better than Jackson Reitz, I have no problem with Mets going out to get them. But I'm telling you, that's not Thomas Nido. Right? It's not Thomas Nido. He's not the guy. Thomas Nido is not he. He's not the one. So you brought in Jackson Reitz. Let's give him this audition. He's going to play what? 2 games a week plus some pinch hitting? Maybe 3? But probably he's going to play 2 games a week. That's going to be about it. It's not like he's going to be your everyday starting catcher. I would agree. If you were talking about Jackson Reitz as the starter, I'd want to bring in someone new, but you're not. Jackson Reitz coming in as the backup, you build his experience, and then if we, hopefully not, but if we were to find out that Alvarez's injury was much greater, then maybe you could package Jackson Reitz up. Is it Jackson? Why does that sound weird? Anyway, you could package Reitz up with someone else to get a frontline starting catcher, and Reitz then becomes their future. That's fine. We do that, but we have no indication that this is anything more than a 6 to 8 weeks to restart baseball activities and maybe 2 weeks to get ramped up after that. So you're talking basically, end of May, beginning of June. So you're getting potentially Alvarez back right around that point in time. If we can't survive with our third string catcher being our backup catcher for the next 8 weeks, then there's bigger problems on this team than having a third string catcher. By the way, McGill with another strikeout, looking sharp today. By the way, Hunter Brown is pitching for the Astros today. Who's quality starting pitcher for the Astros. So that is 4 strikeouts for McGill. He is 33 pitches in. Here we are, the bottom of the third inning. It is still 0-0. Mauricio Dubon up, and again, this is pretty close to a full, I don't know if it's exactly, but it's pretty close to a full Astros starting lineup. So, whereas Hunter Brown maybe gets it easier today, McGill is seeing everybody, or most everybody in their lineup. That ball is going to be ripped through the right side. But again, they're not pulling it. So that's good. So we got a run around first here. So, and again, you can't panic over every little hit. So now let's see how McGill reacts to a run around first. So that was a good swing. It wasn't a bad pitch. It's probably hanging a little bit. Well, that's exactly it. So I like the concept eventually of the Mets having 2 all-star caliber catchers. I really think that's the way that you want to do it. You want to have 2 guys who can do that. First pitch is ball outside here. I'm going to pay attention a little bit here just to watch McGill pitching with a runner on first. So I do think that's ultimately the way. But the part of the reason that I want that is if someone gets injured, you're still there. And Luis Torrens, he also homered yesterday too. That's a nice swing and a miss that he got Altuve here. It is Altuve at the plate with McGill pitching with a runner on first. So this is a really good test for McGill. See what he can do here. And again, you're not always looking for the results of these at-bats. You are looking for just, are they executing good pitches? And sometimes great hitters hit good pitches. So he's definitely working the outside corner. It's outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Altuve didn't swing at it the first time. He swung at the second time. Didn't swing at the third time. Here, so let's see what he can do. I wonder if I would go up and in here. That's where I'm going. Right down the middle. Altuve's mad at himself. He was not ready for that. That was a nice pitch by McGill. Sneak that in there. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, there are certainly worlds where Alvarez never develops into an all-star. There's a little grounder. And it's a double play. Got nice weak contact out of Altuve, and that is going to end the inning. So McGill pitches out of trouble. Second inning in a row, a batter gets on. Second inning in a row that McGill gets out of the inning with no damage done. In that case, facing the minimum for the inning, just facing 3 batters. So, again, this is what you want to see. You want to see your guys who are just absolutely going in and stepping up when the pressure is on. And I'm telling you, pressure is on at this point in the season. If you know you don't have a starting spot locked up or a roster spot, and honestly, if you know you're not a starter, you're still battling for it. Lack of height. Got a question for you. Am I the only one who's kind of over the just hating on the Astros for cheating? I think I got past it at this point in time. Now that there's basically Altuve's the only one left, and Altuve was the one who didn't participate. You know, I'm kind of over it at this point. I don't know. Let me know. Are you guys like? I mean, I know there's always going to be fans that are going to boo the Astros for the rest of their lives because of that, but I'm kind of the point, like, that team is no longer the Astros team anymore. That is. So just curious, do you guys still harbor hatred towards the Astros, or are you to the point like I am where I just don't care anymore? Altuve is a Hall of Famer, right? Yeah, I mean, Carlos Beltran, he's been retired for how many years now? I mean, like, it was a fun thing to hate on. It's always good to have a team to hate on. But I mean, we're Mets fans. We have enough teams to hate on. We can hate on the Phillies. We can hate on the Braves. We can hate on the Yankees. I mean, we can even hate on the Marlins a little bit. Coming to you from Florida here, hate on the Marlins for how many times inferior Marlins teams have absolutely, like, just pummeled the Mets. Yeah, I think I'm done. It's like, as long as that team is together, it's like for me as a Dolphins fan, I don't really hate on the Patriots anymore. Like, because it really wasn't the Patriots that I hated. It was Brady. Little grounder up the middle. Nice play. Nice stretch at first. That is Luis Angel Acuna, who is retired here. So even though the Mets have 2 hits, Hunter Brown has faced the minimum because there have been 2 double plays. That was a really good play. Yeah, maybe. Though I feel like after last season, I feel like it could be a great rivalry. And to me, a rivalry, I guess it can mean hatred. But, like, I'm jacked up to face the Brewers now. Like, once we beat them in the postseason. Yeah, see, and I'm kind of the same way too. Like, the fact that we're now letting in clearly inferior players to the Hall of Fame just because we have this gap, because we won't let the steroid users in. Like, no. Like, if you're gonna draw the line, I still don't think you should lower the standard for who you're letting in. I'm like, and that's nothing against some of the players who have made it in the Hall of Fame recently. I mean, they were really good players, excellent players, you know, players that have hurt the Mets over the years. But it's like, if you want to, I would rather them just do something along the lines of, like, look, these players were the best players in their generation. There's a lot of debate and controversy because of these things. Beatty strikes out. Now, remember, this is Hunter Brown here. He's a top quality starting pitcher. So And there's like really not a lot of protection for Beatty in this lineup today. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Barry Bonds. I don't even care if you want to do something, just say, okay, we're going to disqualify all the stats after we know that they were using. Like Barry Bonds makes it in even before those stats. So I get it. I think it's going to be fixed someday, but I almost think that what they're going to do is they're just going to, and it's unfortunate, I think they're just going to wait for all these guys to die. I think that's what they're going to do until they're no longer around. They're like, we're going to award them an honor, but we're not going to let them actually receive the honor, but they'll get redemption after they die or something. I don't know. Some sort of perverted sense of justice. I think that. So, yeah. Well, and here's the thing. It's like there's lots of players who were in, and I'm not saying he did or didn't, but I mean, there's lots of people who suspect that Piazza used PEDs at some point in time. Whether he did or didn't doesn't matter. Doesn't change his career. Doesn't change what he did. By the way, 2 outs here, top of the 4th inning. I would not be surprised if the Mets don't score anything off of Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown looks really good today. And doing that, like, I just want the Hall of Fame is, hey, they're famous. Barry Bonds is famous. He is baseball famous. He was absolutely dominant. And even if you want to say, okay, just project out his same career based off of his career highs before he used steroids, it's still easily a Hall of Fame career. Like, if you want to just discount, like, take away half of his home runs, take away half of his doubles, right? Say half of his home runs become doubles, half of his doubles become singles because exit velocity would have been lower or something like that. And again, I'm a traditionalist here. Like, but the reality is I know what I saw. And now I'm seeing guys making the Hall of Fame where I'm like, these guys couldn't carry a candle to Barry Bonds, and they're in the Hall of Fame. And you just have lack of evidence. I'm not saying these guys did or didn't, but you have no evidence that who did or didn't do it. Yeah, that's pretty hard to argue. Pretty hard to argue those 4. Three balls and 2 strikes, and Tyrone Taylor strikes out swinging. Let me just show you guys here. I want to show you guys Tyrone Taylor's stats, or sorry, Hunter Brown stats, because so we are through 3.5 innings. Middle of the 4th. Going to the bottom of the 4th, it's still nothing. Let me pull this up here really quick. Hold on. All right, let me bring this up here really quick. Just so you guys know, the Mets are not facing a slouch. All right, this is Hunter Brown. Oop, not that. Wow. All right. Here, I'll give you the basic here. Hopefully I can just highlight this. All right, those Hunter Brown stats last year, 11-9. But again, remember, you can't always look at wins and losses because that's a team thing. 3.49 ERA, 31 games, 170 innings pitched with a 1.27 whip, 179 strikeouts last season. And I believe they were showing he was like top 5 in certain categories last year. Where's his K per 9? 9.48 K per 9 last year. He's actually even slightly better on his K per 9 the year before. So anyway, the Mets are not facing a slouch today in Hunter Brown. Yeah. Now you can definitely make arguments on all three of those guys not being Hall of Fame eligible. Now, I would still put McGwire and Sosa in some capacity, even if you don't enshrine them with a plaque, because that home run battle literally saved baseball. Like, baseball was so toast after that strike year, which is why Major League Baseball let it go on. And I think that's my biggest issue with this whole thing is Major League Baseball knew what was going on, and they just turned a blind eye to it. They just were like, yeah, we know, but it's saving our game, so we're just going to let it happen. And then they let them be the fall guy. So that's the issue that I have. But I would have, and maybe there is. I have not been to the Baseball Hall of Fame to know. But the McGwire and Sosa battle saved baseball in terms of viewership, and I think had that not happened, things in the world of baseball might be a lot different today than what it is. Palmeiro, he's got the home run numbers, but if you want to, because this is what I say, I think if you want to do it, basically you would say, okay, the PEDs don't change your ability to make contact. They just change your exit velocity, essentially, right? It changes your exit velocity. So I think you should be able to come up with some sort of generic metric and say, if we want to evaluate them based on their known PED years, based on what we know in the PED years, you would say every home run is, or a 30-year home runs equal double, a 30-year doubles equal single, and a 30-year singles are outs, right? You could scale something down like that, where then you could have maybe a much better perspective and just say, okay, what's the reason? Well, because we know the PEDs did help their exit velocity. So based on the most generic or universal metrics we can find, we're going to just apply this. And then you could look at players a little bit and then judge them off of that. And then you might see, okay, well, based on that, and what do you base it on? Well, you kind of look at what they were doing at their peaks before they were known steroid users. And then you just kind of go from there. So I don't know. There's obviously some guys that are right on the edge, and there's plenty of people who argue that even with stats, McGwire and Sosa don't deserve it. But well, exactly. I agree, Stan. Like, that has to be something somewhat based in science here. So McGill issues a no-out walk here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That was to Isaac Paredes. Yordan Alvarez is up. So once again, McGill's got a base runner to work around here. And again, this is my critique here on Tyler McGill, is the second time through the lineup seems to be where he has struggled over the years. And then especially the third time through. It's like, that's the difference between being a long reliever or being they're going to say that was like a little blooper that was just barely caught. So they're going to say he caught it. So it's going to be one out there. Again, McGill's been inducing weak contact with runners on, so that's good to see. So, yeah, if you don't remember that back and forth battle, if you weren't around in the world of baseball then, I mean, as a kid, it just, like, I remember too, like, I remember my mom was like even into it, and she wasn't even a huge baseball fan. And she was just so into it, like updating me every day, like when I'd wake up. And guess what? Back and forth. They were clipping out the newspaper articles and all of those things. So it looks like Hunter Brown is out of the game, so the Mets actually have a chance. They took him out here. They took him out after facing the top of the Mets order the second time through. Yanier Diaz is up for the Astros. 2 balls, no strikes. Let's see what McGill's got here. That's fouled away. There is, yes. there's just a lot about this game I don't care about, but I do care about seeing how McGill pitches when he gets in trouble. And seeing how McGill pitches second time through the lineup. I really do believe this is, if he can hold this together, this could earn him a spot in the rotation to start the year. That's a swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So I do think that there is pressure on McGill here, and he knows it. But I just want him. I really want him to break camp with this team. Just like I want Beatty. Like I'm cheering. I'm pretty sure Beatty's got his spot locked up. There's another. He's getting this, whatever it is, if it's like a slider or whatever, that he's getting some of these guys to swing at it and getting weak contact and got him fooled. And so even when they are making contact and the hits that are falling in, they're not like they're driving them. It's just like they're just good hitters that know how to put a ball into play, and sometimes that hits, and those hits land. So still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's go, McGill. That's another foul grounder. Again, weak contact. That's what I'm noticing is he's getting some swing and misses on pitches out of the zone, and when they do make contact, it's a lot of weak contact. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yanier Diaz, Tyler McGill pitching. That one's inside. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There is a runner on first here. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hunter Brown is out of the game for the Astros, so he was pitching well today. That's all we're going to say. We looked at his stats from last year. He was pitching well. Oh, swing and a miss. Throw down to second. Strike him out, throw him out. Double play. And McGill gets out of the inning again. That was beautiful. That was beautiful throw. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of McGill today, guys. I mean, I know what I've seen out of Paul Blackburn this spring, but this is looking good. So here's McGill's line so far. 4 innings pitched. Here, I can bring it up really quick. All right, so far you can see right here, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts today. So that was a really good throw. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, it takes a lot for me to get excited about a catcher making the throw down. Like, that was a really good throw. So, I mean, so this is, by the way, so that is Hayden Sanger. So Hayden Sanger, he has come up through the Mets organization. Let's we'll give him some props for that throw. So here, let's do this. Let me bring up Hayden Sanger because he is still technically, like, they I don't believe they've named who's the backup is going to be going into the season. So he is battling for that backup catcher spot now. Last year in the minors, so he must have been hurt some last year because he only played 55 games. Hit 234, 48 strikeouts. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. My mom's gonna get something to her screen. Oh, okay. String. Yeah, whatever she has. Just get it. Are you good? All right, have fun. All right. Sorry, my wife needed the car keys. Oh, yeah, I got to update our banner here because we are at the top of the 5th inning. No, that was a really good play. All right, so Yeah, so you got Hayden Sanger, who's been working his way up the Mets organization. So last year, he played St. Lucie, Binghamton, and Syracuse. So that's pretty impressive to move all the way up. He did not play long in Binghamton at all. He was only there for 5 games, but hit 286 with St. Lucie, and then 252. Oh, that's the minor's career. Hold on. Those numbers don't add up, do they? Hits and at bats, 40 and 171. Wow, that little stint that he had in Double A really ruined his average for the year. But I mean, he other than Double A, between Single A and Triple A, he hit about like 260 on the season. So, all right. Anyway, Alexander Canario is up for the Mets here. We are at the top of the 5th inning. There is 1 out already. Sorry, got too caught up looking at Hayden Sanger. Joey Meneses popped out previously to start the inning. Yep. So, but again, that to me, even if you see he's like maybe a future, and I know Parada struggled a little bit last year, and I'd love to see Parada get it turned around. I mean, he was really hyped when we drafted him and everything. So maybe I wonder if they moved him with Sproat. It'd be interesting to see, Stan, if Sanger and Sproat kind of move together, like ground ball, third baseline. Nice play by the third baseman. By the way, after Hunter Brown comes out, the Mets get Josh Hader this inning. So, why do they do that? Well, obviously you're trying to make sure your closers get to go against the best of what the other team has to offer. Similar to why the Mets brought in Edwin Diaz early. So we're 2 outs here. 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Donovan Walton is up. That is grounded down to first base. Toss it to Hader. And the Mets are retired. So the Mets are not getting anything easy. Nothing easy today. Facing top pitching, and it is not the Mets' normal lineup. So again, there is zero panic in this game. This is one of those games where you're just the big story of today is Tylor Megill and how he can pitch. And so far, he's passing with flying colors. Now let's see. We'll update you on any changes here. I'm interested to see what is Megill so far has how many pitches. Because pitch count is probably the key thing, but I'm sure they want to try to get him at least twice through the rotation or through the batting order here. Trying to see his pitch count here. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing his pitch count. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 2-0. But so far, Tylor Megill, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and looking really good. Looking really good so far. All right, and that is going to do it for Tylor Megill. Max Kranick is coming in for the Mets. So we'll start updating you guys on all of these substitutions and changes. We'll see if there's any more. That is it. That is a beautiful line today for Tylor Megill. Absolutely beautiful line today. All right. So with 2 games in the books, all right, so far this spring, I'm going to bring this up because this is the most important part of what we're doing. Yep. Canning and McGill, and Blackburn, I mean, you can, I guess, whatever. You can have your take on Blackburn. I'm not, to me, there's just nothing special about Blackburn. I just feel like there's going to be 20 Paul Blackburns that are going to be available as free agents or, over the next 2 to 3 weeks. It's like you're just not losing anything. All right. I don't mind if you want to bring Blackburn as long relief if, in a day if a pitcher gets hurt or we're getting blown out and you just need to eat innings. I don't mind leaving him if you want to do that. And then if you need for some reason a 6th starter, that's fine. I don't see Blackburn as anything greater than a number 6 right now. So this is actually, I know it says career stats, but if you look here, this 2025 where my mouse is, hopefully you can see that on the screen here. This is spring training so far in 2 appearances. I believe this is fully updated. They're usually pretty good at update. Let me refresh one more time. Let me make sure. So 2 games, 6.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. A .9 whip. .45 Ks per 9. So obviously that's super limited. Yeah, I agree. Let's look up Kranick stats now too for spring so far. That's a nice strikeout for the first batter. DeCenzo struck out by Kranick. Let's see. I'm not seeing any other subs for the Mets so far. So we're going to bring up Kranick here. And we're going to do the same thing. We'll look at what his spring has been so far. 4 games, 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, the .57 whip. Yep, absolutely. Looking good. All right. Jeremy Pena with a single to left field. And Jeremy Pena is 9 for 18 this spring, so he's hitting especially well. Yeah. That sounds like a Little League game. We had a game a couple weeks ago where we almost got 10-run ruled. We were down by 10 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. We scored enough runs to stay alive, and then we come back to win the game. So it's like Little League rules. Little Tapper back to the mound, going to go to first. Oh, they're going to call it foul. This is Brendan Rodgers hitting for the Astros here, not pitching. Brendan Rodgers, formerly with the Colorado Rockies. I'm sure when pitchers leave Colorado, they're very excited to not have to pitch there. But I wonder when you're a hitter used to hitting at Colorado, if that really plays with your psyche. Check swing. Looks like he held up on that. Oh, no, they called it a strike. Good. No balls and 2 strikes to Brendan Rodgers here. Max Kranick pitching for the Mets. I am not seeing any other defensive changes. You already have a lot of backups in, so you're going to see a few guys, but I just wouldn't expect there to be. It's not going to be as much. They're going to give Acuna, Beatty, De Los Santos. They're going to give them probably 5-6 innings here for sure. That's popped up. That's going to be out of play. Just beyond or next to the Mets dugout there. So appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. Having fun. Tyler McGill with an absolutely spectacular pitching performance. Got a couple times runners got on, but was able to battle out of trouble. 4 innings pitched. Definitely gave his audition to be the number 5 starter. And that's a swing and a mix. Swing and a miss by Brendan Rodgers, and Max Kranick gets the strikeout. There are now 2 outs with a runner on first. This is a nothing game. So if you're just joining us now, you have not missed any scoring whatsoever. As you can see by our little ticker at the bottom of the screen, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll do a full scoreboard update in case you care about pointless games for other teams. We'll do that in a little bit. Gonna just kind of relax back in the chair here for a little bit. Appreciate everybody hanging out, chatting with us today. That ball is going to be fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chas McCormick is currently up for the Astros. Like I said, the Astros have pretty much their main starting lineup. I don't know exactly, but it's mostly starters in today. The Mets have barely anybody in. That's, you know, I don't know if they have one person who's going to be starting on opening day in this game. The best shot would be like Brett Beatty, but I don't even think he gets the opening day start. Unless McNeil plays the outfield and then Beatty plays second. That would kind of depend on what our final roster configuration is. Beatty would be probably the only one starting today that I would expect. I mean, I guess Tyron Taylor could too. Pickoff almost got him at first. It was actually a really good move. All right, go 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chas McCormick. Chas McCormick, that's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jeremy Pena on first. Max Kranick pitching. Pena goes. Pitch is popped up. Luis Angel Acuna makes the catch. It's kind of on him. The outfielders weren't going to get there in time. So Kranick pitches out of just a little bit of trouble there. And we head to the top of the 6th inning. Top of the 6th. I haven't had to update the score the entire game. Just have to update the inning as we go. So you got your live ticker showing you that you haven't missed a thing if you're just joining us now. All right, we'll give you current out-of-town scores in case you care. In case you care. There have been 5 combined hits in this game. 5 hits, that's it, between the Mets and the Astros. You can understand it from the Mets' perspective, playing pretty much all JV and C squad players, but the Astros have their starting lineup in, which, again, shows really well for Tyler McGill. All right, in a game that has even less hits than this and a current no-hitter going, the Tigers and Braves are 0-0. The Tigers currently have 1 hit. The Braves have no hits. So it just looks good to see no hits next to it. Another game that's been about as futile as this game, the Twins and Blue Jays are tied 0-0, also with 5 combined hits in that game. And then we get to some games with some scoring here. Marlins are leading the Cardinals 6-3. Orioles are beating the Yankees 4-1. Pirates up 4-1 on the other Yankees. So both Yankees are split squad, and they're losing 4-1 in each game. Phillies are beating the Red Sox 9-4 in the 3rd inning. And those are the current games that are going on. So what's better than the Yankees losing once and the Braves getting shut out and no hit? Well, it's the Yankees losing 4-1 twice at the same time. Brian Abreu coming in. He is the Astros setup man, they're saying. This spring in 3 innings pitch, he has not given up a run with a 1.67 whip. First pitch is going to be out. He checked the swing. Did they call it a ball? They call it a ball. Yeah. I was like, he didn't swing at that. 1 ball and no strikes. That ball is high and inside. This is I believe this is Luis de los Santos. Oh no, sorry, it's Jose Azocar. Jose Azocar is up with Luis de los Santos on deck. So the Mets are getting one of their top starting pitchers in Hunter Brown. This ball is flied pretty deep, but playable. Right center field, Mauricio Dubon makes the catch. It's going to be 1 out here on the top of the 6th. So they get one of their best starting pitchers, followed by their closer, followed by their setup man. So that's who the Mets have played, and all with their JV and C squad players. So it's a tough ask, and the fact that Mets pitchers are going toe to toe with the Astros in this game, honestly, that's pretty good. Brian Abreu had 78 relief appearances last season. Means basically every other game he pitched for the Astros. One of the best setup pitchers in baseball. So again, Astros, you pitch these guys now because you want them to face as good a competition as can. That ball is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is Luis de los Santos is up. That ball is weakly grounded, bounced back to the pitcher, tosses it to first, and he is out. That's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Again, this is such a hard ask for the Mets today. But I like the fact that you're seeing at least the Mets batters put the ball into play. Sometimes that's all you can ask for. All right, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. Mets are up. Score is 0-0, and specifically Hayden Singer, the catcher for the Mets today, gets ahead 1-0. Next pitch is foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hayden Singer, of course, is in the running, trying to win that backup, starting the backup catcher position. With Francisco Alvarez out for a couple of months, I still think Jackson Reitz would have to be the favorite since he has Major League experience. That's a swing and a miss. But you never know if there's going to be an injury. You don't know who the Mets are liking overall. So if you're Hayden Singer, of course, you want to put the ball in play here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hayden Singer. That is outside. Good at bat. Singer's being really patient here, and I like that. Especially with 2 outs. Two balls, 2 strikes. That's weakly chopped to the left side. Pitcher barehands it, fires to first. And he gets him. That's a good play by the pitcher there. I don't even know if he had to barehand it, but it might have been easier the angle he was coming at. So the Mets go down in order 1, 2, 3 inning. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. It is still 0-0. We'll see if Kranick gets a 2nd inning pitch. I don't know if they're going to do that or not. This game is absolutely flying by. Absolutely flying by. We're going to have to keep an eye on this no-hitter going on here. We're not going to cover it like in depth, but the Braves don't have a hit yet. I'm assuming they're not. Oh, no, they got their like lineup in. I mean, it's Albies, Riley, Olsen, Ozuna, Kelenic. I mean, no hits for the Braves yet. We'll keep an eye on that game. All right, so we are currently at commercial break. You are not missing anything. Sorry, checking on notifications for other stuff going on here. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We are MetropoliFins, YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. Excited to be with you for play-by-play coverage. The more likes, the more subscribes we get, the more we can do this, and I appreciate your support of such a small channel. Sitting here talking baseball. Excited, only a couple weeks away. Only a couple weeks away. This is a very pitcher-heavy game so far. Reed Garrett is in pitching for the Mets. Here's the pitching change for you. If there's any other defensive replacements, we will post those as well. Reed Garrett looks to potentially be an important part of the Mets bullpen this year. Got ahead 0-2, and then Dubon kind of just reached his bat out, dunked a single into left field. I think that pitch got more of the plate than Garrett wanted it to get. It was an off-speed pitch, yeah, but that was too much. That caught too much of the plate. Not a good location on that pitch. Good job at like a kind of a defensive two-strike swing, but so that is the fourth hit for the Astros in the game. All right, so like Kranick and McGill, gonna have to pitch with the runner on. So Reed Garrett pitching here. I'll see if they haven't announced any other defensive subs yet. We are in the bottom of the sixth inning. That is outside as well. 2 balls and no strikes. This is Jose Altuve is up for the Astros. So this is a good test for Reed Garrett. So you're seeing like the Mets are bringing a lot of their, Tyler McGill and then Kranick and then Reed Garrett. You still hate the Astros, Savage? Will you always hate the Astros? It's a nice swing and a miss that Garrett got on Altuve there. 2 balls and 1 strike. I'm just to the point where this Astros team is so different than the one that cheated. I'm kind of fine with it. Like I don't hate them more than any other team. I don't want them to win if they're playing my team, but I don't really care otherwise. It's a little foul ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But the Astros used the cheating to beat the Yankees, so you should almost be appreciative of them. Good test here for Reed Garrett. Runner on first. Nobody out. Top of the 6th inning. Jose Altuve at the plate. Throws over to first. Runner gets back on time. Let's see what Garrett's got here. I'd like to see a nice double play ball. That's inside. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garrett's looks like he's just missing his spots right now. Gotcha. Was that while they were doing the trash can thing, Savage? Is that the right season? Got a little, the runner is going, fouled off to the left side. Everybody will return to where they were. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes, no outs in the top of the 6th. It was after. So you just hate them because they beat your team. See, that's fair enough. You just don't. Let's see what Reed Garrett's got here. Let's put him away. Throw over to first and gets back. He was going on the last play, so might as well use the pickoff attempt there. That is the 2nd disengagement of this at bat, so he can definitely get a big lead here on this one. And that's ball 4. Ball 4 up and in. So the first real threat the Astros have had today. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here. Top of 6. Garrett does not look good today. It's just missing his spots. Missing the spots. Isaac Paredes is now up. First pitch, low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Reed Garrett is struggling. First batter, he had him 0-2 and absolutely missed with a pitch. Hung it over the plate. Got hit for a single. Could not put Altuve away. And now he falls behind 2-0 on Paredes. So Reed Garrett's got to figure this out here real quick. That's a strike. Wow, the camera that they're using right now is like super shaky. It makes me feel seasick over here. 2 balls, 1 strike on Isaac Paredes. That ball misses as well. 3 balls and 1 strike. Reed Garrett has not, other than the first 2 pitches of the inning, went strike, strike, and after that, he has not looked impressive at all. That one, he gets him to pop up. It's going to stay in play. Called off by Brett Beatty. A good call. Beatty had a much better angle at that ball. That was really good. Good play by Beatty to take charge there. Sanger was kind of like trying to get under it, but he had a weird angle. Beatty had it straight in front of him. That was good hustle by Beatty and a good call. And it was pretty much, I mean, he had to run a little bit, but it was a pretty routine play by Beatty there because of the angle that he had going. So taking charge of that play. All right, so we got 1 out. So now if Garrett can somehow induce a double play, he can get out of this inning here. But he falls behind. Once again, falling behind on Yordan Alvarez. 1 ball, no strikes. That's a strike. That's the pitch you're looking for, Reed. Good work. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball is fouled. 1 ball and 2 strikes. By the way, I'm not seeing any other defensive subs, and from what I can tell, if Beatty's in there, he'd probably be the first one to be subbed out. So we'll see how that goes. It is still 0-0. That ball is fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So props to Garrett here for battling. If he can get a double play to get out of the inning, or even a strikeout here, just takes a little bit of the pressure off the rest of this inning. And it's like going through the top of the Astros lineup. So these are not easy outs here. Got him swinging. Nice comeback here. So he got the pop-up, then he got him swinging on a really good pitch. Yeah, that was a really good pitch by Reed Garrett. All right, so as unimpressive as he was the first 2 batters, he's really battling back here. This is good stuff. Let's see if he can get out of the inning now. First ball is fouled out of play. This is Yanier Diaz. So again, It is kind of the closest thing to the murderer's row for the Astros, facing everybody from Altuve to Yordan Alvarez, Isaac Paredes, Yanier Diaz. It's been a tough part of the lineup to battle through. That ball is fouled. No balls and 2 strikes. All right, here we go. So Reed Garrett got in trouble, and he is just absolutely battled. This looks really good. Obviously, you never want to get behind, but you got to have guys who, if they get into trouble, aren't going to lose their composure. So this looking really good here. Come on. Come on, Reed. And he got him swinging. Nice. Strikes out Yordan Alvarez and Yanier Diaz to retire the side. So the Mets get in some trouble here. Reed Garrett specifically created his own trouble, but he also got out of it. We head to the top of the 7th. It is 0-0. And unfortunately, the Braves have gotten a hit. Actually, they've gotten 2. So the no-hitter alert is currently over. All right, now we will see if the Mets have some subs. The Mets are to the top of their lineup, so Luis Angel Acuna, Brett Baty, and Tyron Taylor are due up. They are combined 1 for 6 today. In fact, the Mets only have 2 hits the entire game. Mets are at 2 for 18 for their whole lineup here today. But they have faced absolute dogs for the Astros. Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown pitched 4 innings. Josh Hader, their closer. And then Brian Abreu, their setup man, came pitched against them in that order. So we'll see. We'll let you know if there's going to be some subs coming in here. As of right now, they're not showing anything. The Mets have rolled with their starting lineup here. So far. Stan. It's hilarious. Bring a trash can with a stick. All right. So I'm gonna ask a question. I could leave the screen as it is, or if I've got to run, and I can create a custom version of this too. Oh, that's cool. So everything still stays on. All right. I'm going to be right back with you guys. Here, hold on. So what do you guys think? Should I, if I have to run, should I just leave this up? So I could just leave that up, the blank screen, or I could throw the BRB up. I don't know. What do you guys like better? What do you think works better? All right, Savage Batman, I'm going to give you a challenge. Name one player or team in baseball. You like the BRB, Stan? Because it'll still have the game scroll, like it'll still have the score scrolling and stuff. I'm never planning on being gone for long, but life with kids in the house and when I'm drinking. There's no Juan Soto soda today since he wasn't playing, so I'm just drinking coffee. Canario Canario coffee. There's going to be times I got to run every once in a while. All right. Yeah, sorry, we're back. Acuna gets a hit. Tyrone Taylor gets a hit. We got a rally. Mets just doubled their hit total. The Mets just doubled their hit total for the whole game in the last two batters. See, get talking about coffee. That's what we do. You're ahead of me, Stan. Oh, wait, that is Beatty. Sorry. I'm confused. I'm the one who's confused now. Acuna and Beatty, there. For some reason, I had Tyrone Taylor and Brett Beatty. My game stream is refreshing here. All right, so Mets have runners on first and second. Totally, that was total misinformation. I'm fake news. Fake news. Tyrone Taylor is up now. Thank you, Stan, for correcting the professional streamer. Run to the bathroom and I get all messed up and everything that's in my head. All right, Tyrone Taylor is up. The Mets have a rally. It's no balls and one strike. We're going to actually pay attention because maybe the Mets are going to do something here. Maybe the Mets can do something. That ball is high. That's a good pitch to lay off of. That's an easy pitch to swing at there. So I've been a little tough on Tyrone. I just I'm not 100% sold on the Siri Tyrone Taylor rotation. I feel like that's definitely a weak point in our lineup. That's a swing and a miss. Good pitch. Tough pitch to hit there. I'm not sold on Tyrone Taylor. I'm not rooting against him. I'm just not. I just feel like that's a position, especially with Nimmo's injury concerns. I feel like we could make an upgrade there. That's fly ball to right field. I wonder. Acuna, have him tag. Yeah, he's got a tag on that. Yeah, nice play, Acuna. Because the right fielder was running away from the field towards the fence. So normally you would go halfway in case they drop it. But on that one, that's a good read by Acuna there to tag on that play. And this is what's so hard about baseball is there's so much, even base running, there's so much situational base running that normally on a fly ball to the outfield, if you're on second, you go halfway. But if it's a case where the fielder is going to catch it and he's running away from the field like it was there, that was a good read by Acuna to do that. Yep. Joey Meneses is up. No balls and one strike here. I'm not seeing. By the way, Taylor Scott is pitching now. Taylor Scott is pitching for the Astros. Not seeing any other subs. Oh, don't swing at that. Wow, they called that. I mean, I don't think he actually swung at that, but Meneses should not have even been even thinking about swinging at that pitch. No balls and two strikes. Absolutely. That one's just a bit high. That may be a makeup call. That could have been called strike three. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's probably a ball, but he easily could have been called out on that one. But I also don't think the check swing. I don't think he swung at that. They don't care to show replays on stuff like that. Oh, Meneses he was dominated that at bat. All right, so now we got 2 outs. So now we need a 2-out base hit. Alexander Canario. Some of Mets influencers are high on Canario. I'm not high on Canario either, but I guess if he's auditioning here for a bench spot, this is a good spot to come through. He has struggled this season. Brett Beatty steals second. They fake the throw to second, trying to entice Acuna. He does not go. So now a hit will score 2 runs. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not super. I give a whole lot more slack to guys we brought up through our system because I trust that they're being trained the way that we want them to do. Yep, absolutely. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike to Canario. Yep, no force play. A hit scores 2 now. with 2 outs. Run on anything here. That's a strike. Oh, that's a ball? Wow. That looked like a strike right down the middle. Challenge. I want to challenge that one. 3 balls, no strikes. Yeah. That third pitch was definitely a strike, I think. All right, 3 balls, 1 strike. He takes that one. Yeah, he should have been swinging there, Stan. I agree. And he pops it up. Looks like that's going to get out of play. Barely. Barely gets out of play. All right, full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. All right, Canario. You were up 3-0. Then you looked at a perfect pitch down the middle. And then on 3-1, you fouled off a pitch that, I don't know. Did it? Game day has. I don't know how much of that is automated versus. All right, and he works the walk. So bases are loaded. Donovan Walton. Some people are high on Donovan Walton getting that. I'm not high on Donovan Walton either. So I thought the third pitch was a strike for sure. I just don't know how much of it they just say, oh, well, he called it a ball, so I'll make it a ball. I can't imagine MLB Game Day is going to directly contradict the umpires. Yeah, I think I just wonder if they're manually input or automatically input by a computer. I really don't know. I'm assuming they don't have the challenge system because I would have challenged that 2-0 pitch as the Astros. All right. All right, bases loaded. Top of the 7th. This is by far the Mets' best scoring chance of the day. By far. Okay. I'll do some research. I'm kind of curious. First pitch is a ball. Hey, he's lost control of the strike zone here. A walk will give us the lead. Not that I care that much, but what I like about this is the top of the Mets lineup. This is the first pitcher that they've kind of seen today that they can really do anything with because the Astros pitchers have been absolutely dominant. 2-0. And I like how even though they're not scoring, nobody has a lot of hits, they're not just swinging wildly. Donovan Walton's approach here is actually really good. 2 balls, no strikes. A hit scores a run. It's high. It is deep. It is gone. Grand slam. Donovan Walton. Man, that's the second grand slam for the Mets this week. That was beautiful. And it's not just that swing. It was the fact that Donovan Walton was willing to take some pitches and wait. He was swinging to an, oh, man, that was exactly. I mean, you talk about a guy seeing a pitch that he was looking for. That was the pitch. We got 7 people in here celebrating Mets 4-0 lead. This is the Mets JV and C squad. 4-0. We got to update the banner. We got to update the banner. Hold on. Jose Azocar is up for the Mets. Man, hit those likes, hit those subscribes in the chat. Here we go. That's 2 grand slams in 1 week. The last 2 streams, I've got into stream grand slams. Loving it. All right. And that pop fly out to the right field will end the inning. But the Mets go up huge. 4-0 on a Donovan Walton grand slam. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. The Mets have done nothing all day till that inning. But they strung hits together. They are patient, some good at bats. So this is why I'm not fretting about this lineup because these are you came Sharon. You came in at just the right time. I agree. This is why, I just don't understand all these Mets fans panicking on all these things. We have depth. And like, yeah, Donovan Walton hasn't had a great spring. I mean, he was hitting what? He's hitting under 200 for the spring. Now he is hitting 200 for the spring. But still came up when it was clutch. Alexander Canario hitting under 200 for the spring. Sometimes it's not how much you hit, it's about when you get the hits. Phillies are beating the Red Sox 12-4. Sorry, Savage. None of us here, no Mets fans, are happy about that either. Yep. But that was a really good at bat for Walton, coming up with the bases loaded to take two pitches that were kind of close and just waited for him to groove one. And I mean, it was the exact pitch. You could just see he was on it. He was looking for that high strike, and he hopped all over it. That was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Acuna, Beatty, yep. Led off the inning with hits. Those are the guys you would expect, right? Kind of the most polished of who's in our lineup today. So it is 4-0 Mets. This is crazy. All right. I'm assuming we're going to have some replacements here. All right, here we go. First, we'll do the pitching change for you. Jose Urena. Jose Urena is coming in. Yep, absolutely. Yep, it was. Acuna. That was a good inning for Acuna. All right, so here's the pitching change. Jose Urena, first pitch lined right back up the middle, almost took his head off. That's going to be a single. First pitch swinging. That is a single by Zach DeCenzo. We got a couple other substitutions in the ongoing catcher battle. This is Chris Williams' audition now. Chris Williams gets to do his audition, coming in for Hayden Sanger as catcher. Sanger had a really good throwdown. This next ball is going to be hit over the fence for a ground rule double. That actually is going to save the Mets a run here. Urena is just getting smoked out of the gate here. I don't even have all the defensive replacements up yet for you. All right. Chris Williams coming in to catcher. DeAndre Smith is now coming in for Jose Azocar. So, yeah, and it should not be overlooked. So we've got runners on second and third for the Astros here. By far their best chance to score this game too. So those are all the substitutions I've seen so far. They don't always post them right away, and it's an Astros stream, so they're not going to be like a whole lot. It's 2 balls and no strike. Jose Urena is about to give up the 4 runs the Mets just scored last inning. So if you just came in, you just missed a grand slam by Donovan Walton, who is trying to battle for a spot on this roster. Clutch time to do it. I just feel like if you're hitting grand slams in spring training 1 or 2 weeks before the season, you should at least get the opportunity to battle for that position all the way through. 2 balls and 1 strike. That ball is pop foul out of play. So Jose Urena is even the count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Urena's got a battle here with runners on second and third. Nobody out. By the way, absolutely stellar pitching today by Tyler McGill and Max Kranick. And Reed Garrett got into some trouble, but he battled out of it and got the strikeouts when he needed them. So let's see if Jose Urena can work his way out of trouble the same way the other guys did. So for all you Tyler McGill and Brett Beatty haters, come on. Stop hating on Tyler McGill. Stop hating on Brett Beatty. I know they got to do it in the regular season, but Urena just gave up a bomb. That's out of here. Oh, no, just short of the fence. Another ground rule double. That one's going to score too. The wind must be blowing in because I thought both of those ground rule doubles were going to be homers. Well, there's Urena. Just gave up two more runs. 2 of the 4 runs we just got. Come on. Urena's getting absolutely smoked. All right, so let's look up Jose Urena's. Jose, I got to be careful how I say this so it doesn't sound bad. Jose Urena's stats. This is for all the good pitching the Mets have had today, Urena has just gotten smoked. Just absolutely. He's given up 2 moonshots that probably would have been home runs if the wind wasn't blowing in, and a liner that almost took his head off. There's a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike, and now he's wild. This is a really bad performance for Urena. All right, let's do a little look in here. So last year, I'll share screen here so you can see this. I got a pop out here to the first baseman. So there will be a runner on second still with 1 out now. 4-2 Mets in the bottom of the 7th inning. By the way, we are MetropoliFins. We're YouTube's smallest New York Mets and Miami Dolphins channel. So hit that like, hit that subscribe. The more likes, the more subscribes we get, the more often I'm going to be able to do this for you. Obviously, I still have a real job that I got to work, but as we can grow this channel, then I would love to do this more often, cover as many of these games as we possibly can. All right. So last year, Urena has been around for a while. His career, what is his career ERA? Let's see. His career ERA is 4.76. He had a great ERA-wise season last year with a 3.80 ERA with a 1.32 WHIP, among the best of his career with Texas. But, I mean, today, he's just been absolutely smoked. Cowboys re-signed Cavante Turpin. All right. Urena's behind 3-0. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you're pitching him here because it's not about the win or the loss. You're trying to see some work, but I'm just not seeing any fight here today. Justin Fields for Zach Wilson, yeah. And that's a 4-pitch walk. Urena, man, not good. He had a good season last year. Maybe he's just off today. I haven't watched him enough to give a evaluation, but whatever it is, Astros look like they're banging some trash cans on what Urena is pitching today because they're just holding off on every ball, and they're anything in the zone off of him. They are absolutely smoking him. So not a performance that Urena wants or the Mets wanted to see here today. But Tyler McGill, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, looked really good. Max Kranick gave up a base runner, gave up a hit, but worked through with 2 strikeouts. Reed Garrett gave up a couple of base runners, but got 2 strikeouts to get through it. 9 strikeouts for the Mets today. So good pitching up until this inning. And then the Mets put together a nice top-of-the-order rally last inning with hits by Acuna and Beatty. Good base running by Acuna. Good base running by Beatty to steal second. And then a grand slam for Donovan Walton last inning. So this by far, I mean, and the Astros had great pitchers pitching today. So the Mets bats being quiet is not a bad thing at all. And it was all JVC squad players for the Mets at this point too. That ball is ripped down the left field line fair. That's going to score 1. That's going to maybe score 2. The game is tied. My goodness. That one was smoked too. The only balls that one batter who had a weak pop-up. Urena has given up the entire Mets lead. And I mean, he hasn't even been. I mean, this is an atrocious performance. And I mean that. Understanding, I'm not saying get rid of the bum or anything like that, but this is an absolute atrocious performance by Urena here today. Luis Guillorme, former Met Luis Guillorme is up. Yeah. I hope so. And how was he doing before today? Like, what was his? How was he doing in? I mean, he pitched an inning. He had one inning pitch with no earned runs, so it just could be whatever. It's one bad game. I'm not going to jump all over him. It's literally his second appearance of the spring. His first appearance didn't give up any runs. But it was clear from the very first batter he did not have it. First batter almost took his head off. And then they're back-to-back. I don't know if they're back-to-back because there was one out in there. But there were two ground rule doubles, which both looked like they were going to be home runs off the bat. Yeah, Altuve got angry. Thanks, Stan. You made Altuve angry. Guillorme rips that one up the middle. That's going to be a single, and the Astros are going to take the lead. Oh. This is bad. This might be the worst pitching performance we've seen by any Mets pitcher this whole spring. Can't even update the ticker fast enough here. There's only one out, guys. Now, I wonder, there is something to consider here too, which is Urena pitched with the Rangers last season, who faced the Astros a lot. So the Astros have seen him before, and they maybe have a little bit more of a beat on him. They have a much better scouting report on him than they would other players. Like, these were not first times these players were seeing Urena pitch. And it is only Urena's second outing of the spring. But, I mean, I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not saying get rid of the bum. But that was atrocious from the start. It was really bad. Really bad. All right, we do have a pitching change here. I'll let you know. So the Mets scored 135. 135. For those of you not familiar with baseball stats, that is not good. It would have been infinite had he not gotten the one pop out. I always love when you get the pitcher who comes in on opening day or whatever. He gives up like one run, it doesn't get anybody out, and has an infinite ERA. Is there any pitcher who ended their career with an infinite ERA? There is. There's. Oh, imagine. So there's an infinite ERA club. This is really cool. I'm going to show this to you guys. There's an actual, this is a thing, guys. People who have a career infinite ERA. In other words, players who have never recorded an out. The crazy thing is there's a couple guys on here who have 2 appearances. Nate Jones in 2014 with the White Sox. Vic DeVilio with the Cardinals in 1969. Bobby Burke with the Philadelphia Phillies in 1937. Anybody else? Yep, there's one more here. Paul Stuffle for the Phillies in 1953. The Infinite ERA Club. Yeah, so that is it. I wish there was a way to sort this. I'm not seeing any easy way. I'm sure there's got to be a couple of like position players on here, right? But there it is. All up. If you want to have some fun exploring that, I'll post the link in the chat. Infinite ERA Club. There you go. That's what I'm screen sharing right now. If you want to look that up for yourself. All right. And who has the most? All right, let's look that up too. By the way, it's runners on first and second, one out in the bottom of the seventh inning. Astros have taken the lead 5-4. 1,000 batting average club. All right, let's do that. I don't know how long this is. I want to find a list. That's an article. Let's find the list. By the way, 1, 2, and 3 all time. It's not going to show great on here. Sorry. These are your top batting average. Wow, that really doesn't look good. Anyway, it's Ty Cobb, 366. Rogers Hornsby, 358. Shoeless Joe Jackson, 356. Those are your top 3 all-time batting average leaders. I don't know if there's a list. I'm trying to. Okay, so according to this article, 94 players have finished their career with 1,000 batting average. 83 of the 94 are 1 for 1. All right, so the best one is that ball's going to fall in there. Bases are going to be loaded for the Astros. Luis Guillorme moves up to third base here. So this is the guy's name. He is 3 for 3 in his career. John Pachoriak, maybe Pachoriak. We're gonna go with that. John Pachoriak. He got to hit in the final game of the season. In 5 at-bats, Pachoriak produced 3 singles and 2 walks, scored 4 runs, and had 3 RBIs in a 13-4 win over the Mets. What year was this? 1963. So he's the only batter to ever go. It's certainly possible. We'd have to. That'd be a fun thing to cross-reference. That one would take a lot more research to figure all that out. But so kudos to you, John Pachoriak. Hope I'm saying your name right. 3 for 3. The most. There's a handful of guys. Here, I'll share the screen with you guys on this too. Still 5-4. Bases loaded, 1 out. By the way, I didn't tell you who's pitching for the Mets, so let me. Ben Simon is pitching for the Mets. That's going to be a ground ball double play when we get out of the inning. So that is Ben Simon, by the way. So this inning is over. Got lots of things we're doing here. So Ben Simon came in, got the double play, and that will retire the side here. So it's 5-4. Okay, let me share this article, though, really quick. We'll give some shout outs here. Esteban Yan, I remember that name. He was a pitcher. He got 2 hits against the Mets. Why are the Mets always the center of all this stuff here? So one of his hits was against the Mets. Got a bunt single and against the Cardinals. Fred Szymanski. So he was a pitcher, but he also came in as a pinch hitter, drew a walk with 2 singles. William Stone, 2 walks. Hit a single and 3 at-bats, Chuck Lindstrom. And then the rest of the 2 for 2 list, Hal Devine of the Red Sox, Mike Hopkins of the Pirates, Chet Kane of the Dodgers, Frank O'Connor of the Phillies, Jason Roach. There you go. There you got a Mets player who made the list of 2 for 2 all time, batting 1,000 for his career. 2 singles in 2 games. And Doc Tonkin, Washington pitcher. So if you want to explore, there's somewhere you're going to have to find a full list of everyone who is 1,000 all time. Ah, there you go. John's brother Tom. So there's the link for at least that article that I found. Quick research here. I always like statistical anomalies like that. Super, super fun stuff. All right, so John Pachorik. Am I saying it right, Sharon? Pachorik? I'm just kind of guessing that CI making the ch sound. Tom Pachorik. Let's look him up then, too. Yeah, 18 seasons. Very good. John's brother Tom played for the Dodgers, Braves, Mariners, White Sox, Mets, and Rangers. What year was he with the Mets? The name kind of vaguely sounds familiar. I don't want his Wikipedia. I want his baseball reference page here. He was with the Mets in 1985. 1985. So there you go. Love it. I love all the baseball knowledge we got in here. Super cool. Some references that are before my time. Like that's just before my time. So he missed out on the World Series by 1 year. I guess, yeah, 86 and 87 he played with the Rangers. Played 46 games with the Mets in 1985. All right, I got to update everything here. Got so busy. See, this is my problem here. You guys get me digging into stats. Totally forget what's going on with the actual game that I'm supposed to be covering here. All right, we got 1 out. Luis De Los Santos struck out swinging. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chris Williams, who came in as catcher for Hayden Sanger earlier in the game. So Mets are down 5-4. Let me update the banners here. This ball is popped up. Foul, and it drops in. Guillorme messed up. So that was Guillorme's ball. So you know how I told you last inning or 2 innings ago, Brett Beatty came in and took charge on a play? Guillorme did not come and take charge on the play on that one. Guillorme is obviously a good defensive fielder. You know, that's a mistake he doesn't make often. So no hate on Guillorme. All right. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Chris Williams. Also auditioning for the backup. Ah, awesome. See, you guys are just a wealth of knowledge. That's what I love. So hopefully, if you want to dig into some stats, some links that you guys can have fun with here on that. Then that's called striking out looking. Not what you want to be doing, Chris Williams, if you're trying to get that backup spot. I'm on team Jackson Reeds. Right? It's Jackson Reeds. I'm going to make sure I have that right. Right? For some reason, yeah, Jackson Reeds. All right, so Nick Roselli is coming in the game for Luis Angel Acuna here. Nick Roselli doesn't even have a picture in MLB.com, so that's never good. All right, we need our rally pig here. I didn't waste his magic, so I probably shouldn't waste it in this inning either because this is not looking good for the Mets here. We need the rally pig. Let's go, Nick Roselli. Oh, he looks absolutely lost up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He swung at that pitch. It wasn't close. All right, hold on. I don't want to waste the rally pig magic. We might need it for the 9th inning. Might need the rally pig magic for the 9th inning. Oh, he just absolutely Oker just completely destroyed Roselli there. His strikeout swinging. It was not even close. We are the bottom of the 8th inning. So quite a few of the Mets players played most of this game. We'll see if there's any other subs. I'm assuming they're going to have Beatty out at this point. We'll see. I mean, as of right now, I wonder if they're trying to get Beatty one more at bat. I don't think he needs it, but whatever. So we are headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 5-4 Astros. I'll let you know who's pitching for the Mets. Yeah, Stan, I agree, but I would give the nod to Beatty. He has more major league experience. He's had a better spring. I would rather see Acuna get more everyday playing time and allow him to just really build up his confidence. That's my vote. I can see a world where you can just bring them both. I really do. But if they're only going to pick one, I'll put your comment up because I think it's a good comment. But I would rather forget any of these other utility guys that are brought in. I just figure, okay. So you've got Vientos can be third base, right, and first base, and DH. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of list this out here. So Vientos can play those 3. Okay, Alonso can be first base and DH. Okay. So then you've got Beatty can be third base and second base and outfield ? So there's the Alonso. Alonso can be first base DH. Okay. Beatty can be third base, second base, outfield. Okay. Lindor can be shortstop, DH on any given day, right? Okay. Then Acuna can be shortstop, second base, and Acuna's played third base too, right? If I'm remembering right. I don't see why we couldn't fit all of them on the roster. I mean, to me, oh, and then don't forget McNeil. So McNeil can be second base, outfield, DH. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I know. Sorry. Like, why not? You've got 4 infield positions and a DH and an outfield spot to rotate 6 guys. Especially, or if you want to say basically five positions for 6 guys, everybody can average 1 day off a week from playing in the field. Some guys you sit. I'm fine with this. I don't see why we wouldn't have to do it. However, if someone doesn't make the cut, it's Acuna is going to be the odd man out. That's my take on it. But I'm fine with that. Obviously I have no say in this, but I've been working through the math and the numbers, and I just don't see why we couldn't bring those guys. And then, I mean, it'd be interesting to try to put together a full roster construction of what I would like to see. But based on the spring, I mean, Acuna's average has picked up here the last couple of days too. He's up to 261. Right, but what if so here's the thing. So if you have McNeil and Beatty as outfielders, then you can drop to 5 outfielders. So if McNeil and Beatty can essentially be one of your outfielders as necessary, then I think that's your workaround. Yeah, and of course, if Nimmo's going to start on the injured list, which I've always thought was a possibility, then obviously that opens up the spot too. Because at this point, Nimmo's a question mark. Then you've got the whole. By the way, Sean Reed-Foley is pitching and is looking sharp. Sean Reed-Foley is trying to battle to get back on this Mets roster here, because I believe they took him off the 40-man. Yeah, because he was sent down, no one claimed him, so now he's got it almost becomes pressure-free. It's like, well, nobody wants me, so he's pitching well today. I'd love to see him come back for the Mets. So, because yeah, Winker, Siri, and Soto, Marte, Taylor, Nimmo, right? So that's the question then. So either Nimmo to the injured list or trade Marte, but they haven't been able to figure out the trade partner. Or Luis Baez with a little single up the middle here. I mean, I think that's one of these two things is probably going to happen, but or Acuna to the minors. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I like Marte as a clubhouse leader. You know, a veteran presence, especially since you got some younger guys in there. Someone, you know, like not the vocal leader like Lindor as like kind of the superstar, but the guy who's done it for a long time, sustainability. Ooh, that was a nice slider. The pitch almost hit him, and he got him to swing at it. So, I heard rumors that the Royals were interested in Marte. I think you could really try to pitch him to some sort of club that's got lots of young talent and wants a veteran leader. I agree. No, I agree, and that's why I'm just like, I don't. All these other guys that people are pitching for, like the utility, like I don't even think it's so much utility. It's just more like an infield rotation. There's no reason to not give Pete a DH stint once a week and maybe a day off, and then you play Vientos on those days. But again, I love Nimmo, but if he's not ready, then maybe that's the solution, is just throw Nimmo on the injured list to start. I don't know. I can see worlds where the Mets just DFA Marte too. That's an weak infield signal. There, it counts as a hit, but that's nothing bad on Reed Foley there. So despite the Astros getting 2 runners on, I like how Reed Foley is pitching. He's very aggressive, getting some really bad swings, and just sometimes balls fall in. I can see worlds where I mean, and you guys know me, I kind of want to see Tyron Taylor prove it too. I mean, if Nimmo's ready to go, I mean, Siri's going to get a chance. Obviously, Soto's there, Winker's there. If you're going to hold on to Marte, I don't know if Tyron Taylor has options or not, but I would guess not. But I just don't think there's anything special there personally. Like, it's like Paul Blackburn, like Tyron Taylor, good guy, but I feel like there's lots of Tyron Taylors out there, just like there's lots of Paul Blackburns out there. Two balls and one strike. Sean Reed Foley pitching to Colin Barber. Astros are up 5-4. Reed Foley pitching well. Just that's going to be a hit, though, and that's going to score a run. That was a bad pitch. All right, that is going to be it's going to be 6-4. So we're going to need the rally pig out for. Yeah, well, I mean, is there a world where the Mets just, if Nimmo's ready to go opening day, is there a world where the Mets just DFA Marte? Is there a world where that happens? But I feel like they wouldn't do Marte dirty like that. I mean, they've let him know they're trying to trade him. Maybe they've already let him know that if we can't work out a trade. But I feel like if they knew that by now, they would have DFA'd him by now to give him a chance to catch on with the team. Yeah. No, I mean, for sure. I get it. But again, that just revolves around the fact that the problem here is potentially Marte. I just don't. There's a lot of worlds in my mind. There's a lot of worlds where Marte is not with the Mets past the All-Star break. The question is there a world? Is there a world where Marte does not break camp with the Mets and is not on the Mets opening day roster? I don't know. Is there? How is Marte doing? How is he doing? I mean, he's not obviously playing that much. And there's a wild pitch. And the Astros are going to score again here, 7-4. Well, Reed Foley started out good, but he's kind of fallen apart here. That was very aggressive base running here. Wait, hold on. Hide that. That's wrong. I just realized I had everything backwards. For some reason, I had this as a. All right. Anyway. I'm like just realizing now that the Astros are the home team and not the Mets are the home team. What in the world? Okay. Stop it, ticker. All right. I think we're good. We're going to the top of the ninth here. Sorry, I've completely botched everything here on the. Yep. No, I agree. So, and what do you want for Marte, right? I mean, you're going to have to pay down salary. You just want like some low-level prospect, right? Or maybe some like cast off. Is there a guy that we can just trade straight up bad salary for bad salary where we don't have to eat money, they don't have to eat money, we trade our player who doesn't have a position for their player who doesn't have a position? There's got to be some like overpaid starting pitcher that's better than Paul Blackburn that we could trade Marte straight up for. Tatis Jr. That would be an interesting dynamic to the Mets. He is overpaid, but I don't think you're going to get a straight up Marte for Tatis. Yeah, that's probably true too. Yeah, well, like I said, the Royals kind of make sense too. You know, you got a Bobby Witt Jr., but you know, you could combo that with like a real veteran presence here. Well, I'm like starting to disappear here. All right, well, this is going to be it for the Mets stream. We'll bring out the Rally Pig. Rally Pig is still in spring training too. All right, so we got the Rally Pig. Mets need 3 runs to tie. 4 to take the lead. We had a bunch of substitutions. Jacob Reimer came in for Brett Beatty. AJ Ewing came in for Tyron Taylor. Corey Collins came in for Joey Meneses. Travis Swaggerty came in for Alexander Canario, and Wyatt Young replaces Donovan Walton. So those were those. But in the batting order, Corey Collins takes over Brett Beatty's spot in the batting order. Yep, no photo, guys. No photo, guys. All right, we got the Rally Pig out here. Quickly, Van Way, who's pitching, Logan Van Way is pitching for the Astros, gets out to an gets ahead in the count, 0-2. Van Y, I guess is how they're saying it, Van Y. All right, we got the Rally Pig out. That's a ball, low and in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We got a bunch of no photo guys. All right, we're wrapping things up. Make sure if you haven't done so yet. And he swings and misses. Strike 3. Make sure you sign up for our David Peterson rookie card giveaway. It's hard to show it on here, but here it is. Ready to go. We'll do the drawing this weekend. We postponed the drawing because it was a Nick Madrigal rookie card giveaway. You're still going to get that card, but you probably won't care unless you just happen to be a closet Nick Madrigal fan. But you can sign up there. There's a diving stop up the middle. Good defensive play. It's going to be 2 outs. Zach Short, former New York Met legend, Zach Short, with a good diving play there. All right, Mets are down 2. Their final out. Travis Swaggerty. The Rally Pig is not working. These are not the guys that you want if you need a rally, though. That's for sure. Seven 4 Astros. Mets had one big highlight. They had a really good inning. Good pitching by Tyler McGill today, by the way. in case you're just tuning in. None of this has anything to do with Tyler McGill. 4 really solid innings. Some of the best innings I've seen him pitch in a while. Let's just see if they keep stretching him out. If he can make it. That's foul away. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Mets are down to their final strike. Down 7-4. Top of the 9th inning. 2 outs, no balls, 2 strikes. Down. That ball's high. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we got a meeting at the mound, I guess, to save a pitch clock violation. All right, Mets are barely staying alive. Come on, Rally Pig. At least give us hope. That's all I want. Just hope. Just get us a base runner. Prove your worth, Rally Pig. Prove your worth. If Travis Swaggerty can get on, then you prove your worth. We got a single. Yeah! Single! We're still alive! Rally Pig! Hey. If Rally Pig can get a single out of Travis Swaggerty in the 9th inning, then we know there's some magic in Rally Pig for this year ahead. Spring training for Rally Pig, too. There we go. Mets are still alive on the Travis Swaggerty single. I don't want to use up all the Rally Pig magic, but hey. It's a grounder down to third base. High chopper. All right, well, that's going to be it. Thank you, Stan. Appreciate you so much. The game is officially over, but hey, Rally Pig got Travis Swaggerty on. So Travis Swaggerty, I expect an autograph signed to Rally Pig coming our way. So yes, Rally Pig is real. Hey, if Rally Pig can get Travis Swaggerty a single, I know that can lead to a Juan Soto home run in the 9th when we need it. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for hanging out. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. We will talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Let's go Mets, baby!